Maybe. Maybe. All right. Oh, it does say that I'm live. Okay. Streamlabs is up and running. I'm going to open the multi-chat or multi-stream so you guys can at least pop in and say hi. I'll get voice chat working, and then we'll get some music on in the background. Eventually, I'll get that fixed here. Let's take a look and see what we got for options. Get our audio back connected. All right, we got some music back on. I'm going to switch Discord with this monitor, though, so I can read chat a little bit easier. And then we'll lower the volume of the music a little bit. Just so it's more background than it is focus center. And then we are now just waiting. I'm just messing with you, buddy. I'm just messing with you. Yo, what the heck, guys? We agreed. We are 5 minutes after. What the heck? I'm streaming a game and there's no player.
Like 2 hours. Well, I could commentate air, actually.
All right, all right, all right, all right. Scrubs. I'm just kidding. What are we doing? What are we doing? What are you doing? Give me the lobby link, or else. More concerned about my fat. Yeah. I agree. Noise fun. Football is more important today, guys. Catan is not real. Catan is fake. Anyone that says otherwise is not real. I refuse your
Did you hear the
existence.
order? The custom placements.
Is this?
Oh, I did not.
I don't think this is seated, is it?
It is.
Yeah, it is.
Oh, nice. Okay, cool. Alrighty. Just let me know when the game actually starts, because like we can't spectate while you guys are picking.
I just know I'm first.
Yeah. Oh, okay. So you first. I'm in fourth, so just go figure it out.
Let's see. Is there an old one to look at? If you just put fuck. out.
Oh shit. Okay. Game will be live in a
Yeah,
little
no,
bit,
yeah.
guys. We're just waiting for them to do seated placements
Yeah, well, let me press
because we cannot spectate while they do that.
If you copy the URL of like season 54 and just put 53, it pops up.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. It worked. Worked, you're right. Is Snap? You on? Okay, Snap. Check it. I got it.
You guys got Snap and Dashin? Snapper and Dasher. Donald and Blitzen.
Why did I leave?
Yeah, I got the order. It's you, Snap, Dash, and me. Okay, you can ready up. I think Archer's ready as well.
Everything.
Oh, that's right. I guess while we're waiting for them to start, guys, we can start looking at possible time slots
Say, yo.
moving forward. Different venues and events, right? Check my work schedule. Plan ahead, you know, plan ahead of the curve. We don't have a lobby link though, so we're still waiting for them to start up. I will update you guys the second the game is live, and then we can kind of go from there. Still not started yet. And give it a hot minute.
You waiting? Sorry.
Oh, I guess whatever. Usually you wait for everybody to get in here, but
Oh, yeah, we can wait if you want. It's fine.
nah, let's just go. Yeah.
This is the order. Looks good.
Mm-hmm.
Let's try more time. Noise pawns. Yep.
I don't know the timing of it though. I think everyone has like 2 minutes, and then each person has 2 minutes. I don't know, something like that.
Yeah, well, I'm in
Still
fourth,
waiting
so
on the lobby.
Doesn't matter to me. Do I start then? Do you want me to start?
I guess if that's what people want.
Okay, while we're doing that,
Start.
I'm gonna work on something else in the background.
I'm so sickly. Oh my god.
Here, picture of the board.
Oh yeah, they're looking at the board, and I'm in fourth line, so I have to
Oh
pick.
my god. Yeah, I don't know what the timer situation is. I don't really care. So do you want to do a randomizer?
What do you mean? For you?
Yeah.
I mean, it's fine. If you want to pick, you can pick. You can take your time, I think.
Take your time. Will you be mine? Alright, let's go with it. Ooh, number generator told me fourth.
Is she gonna go fourth?
No, I'm waiting for. Are we actually gonna have a real time? I don't. We don't know the rules.
I think it's 3 minutes. Pretty sure.
Alright, just let me know in 3 minutes.
Alright. Pretty sure your time is up. I don't know.
I think it's like 2. Right? Is this right? Everyone gets 2 then? Yeah, it's just so.
Everyone gets 2 minutes.
Well, there's supposed to be a table clock for everyone to look at the board, and then then it starts at everyone's turn.
Oh.
So I think everyone gets 2 minutes now. So you should time me for 2 minutes, and then it. But no one's in the chat. Like, can you chat?
Yeah, it's
We
been like
can't
2
even
minutes.
chat. We gotta
It's been
chat.
2 minutes. Oh, you gonna chat with them?
No. I mean the other people. They don't know. They're not here. Like,
Guys,
Yeah,
like,
just
what are
leave
we? Are they not gonna voice
This is
chat?
what-
This is gonna be
This is why a mod is supposed to set this up. Like,
Yeah.
Snap DM me. He said, did Noise pick it? He said
No.
he thinks you DC'd or something. I think
No,
you should
I'm
just
here.
pick yours.
Alright, I'll just pick that.
Is
Oh, what?
Can you guys ask if they're gonna VC? Because I don't think I'll stay in
Wait, what
VC if
happened?
it's just 2 people.
Did it just
Wait,
cancel?
what just happened, guys?
Hmm.
Alright.
Wait, is
I
it a
have no
new
idea.
board now?
I have no idea actually.
I
I've never
didn't
seen
touch
this.
anything.
If someone like accidentally refreshed, then it's gonna be the same board. You
That's
just have-
DC.
Oh, Dash left.
Technical
Oh.
difficulties, gents.
This is
You
why I
can-
was trying to wait for everyone to get in here, you know, because it's.
They don't like VC. I think.
They VC.
Yeah, are neither of them coming though? Like this would have started if everyone was just here already.
Can you DM them?
There's too many people texting too many people. Just bring everybody to voice.
Yeah, before we start, I'm just saying, please.
Alright, do I start again?
No, wait.
It's the same board. It's the same board, apparently.
Bruh.
I'm just gonna
Oh.
start. Noise. Are you ready, Noise?
No, don't start it.
Okay.
Oh, I can't type.
Let's go dash.
There's Dash.
Wait. That's again.
Everything okay in here?
We fumbled the bag.
The bag.
The bag has
Well,
been
no
fumbled.
was in here, and we weren't really keeping track of time, and then it disconnected. Oh.
Fumbled the bag like the Broncos today.
Are you back on the board, by the way? Or are you still in the
Exactly.
lobby?
I'm in
Question
the
mark.
lobby. It
Okay,
kicked
I'm in the lobby too. Okay. I was staring at the board for a while, and then all of a sudden I was in the lobby. So I thought it was me.
Ammo? My guy?
It should be 3 minutes, 3 minutes for everybody to look at the board together, and then 1 minute per person to decide your replacement.
Okay.
Has everybody seen the big board so far?
I feel like I've seen the big board for a long time.
We didn't time it.
But no, Dash, you're not even in the lobby.
I'm not in. Motherfucker, dude. Okay. Thank you for telling me.
I don't know what Archer's doing.
Searcher here.
Are you ready, Noise Bond?
Want
me to start?
Sure.
Yeah.
Alright, so it is the same board. Okay.
It's fine, I think.
I'll just do what the randomizer said, bro.
Respect.
All the animals come out at night. Buggers, queens, fairies, dopers, junkies. Sick, venal. Low rain will come and wash all the
I'm gonna be watching the Vikings.
Is this make or break for your fantasy team?
No, not really, but I think I'm in the clear. I just Jefferson gotta not get like a 30+ burger, but you never know.
He had an awful game last week, but I
I don't know.
I don't trust JJ.
Yeah, I don't know if JJ's the QB that would like put those numbers up with him, but I did retell Archer. You here?
Okay.
Oh, Bichon. Bichon! The game! Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
Archer will be here soon.
She just placed. It's like she just chose her order.
Oh yeah, I'm in both my leagues. I'm 95% to win. Holding my breath. Oh my god. Oh jeez.
No wait. I'm so dumb.
Bruh,
We
this
did
game
it.
is still not started. I'm so sorry, guys. We are 30 minutes in and we are still just waiting.
Alright, started.
Okay, here we go. Here we go. All right, we got a game.
Oh,
I'm
that
gonna
was
leave
not
voice.
what I was picturing first.
Me neither. But I was gonna take I almost took first to do something fucking weird. And I was like, let's not be weird. It'll disconnect me. We'll be back in a second.
So we will probably hop in and out of voice chat, but I do want to get better at commentating. This is, I would say, one of the things I enjoy most about Catan is the community aspect. Playing is fun, but I actually prefer this piece of the game a little bit more than playing myself. So we're gonna get into it, and I hope you guys enjoy kind of the commentary here. I do apologize if I'm a little wonky. I woke up at 5 today to do the Con Cup, so kind of jumping in full feet forward, right? But we'll have a good time. So we have Archer placing first, Dash placing second. Oh wait, no, I'm stupid. We're already making mistakes. Calling this UI is fun. So Icy goes first here. We see 9, 5, 10. Pink is going second, then Dash, then Noise. Seeded placements. So for those that don't know, seeded placements is a pretty cool thing that, depending on how you do based on prior qualifications, depending on the event that you're in, you can choose the order that you go in. It's not going to be randomly assigned. So Icy opted to select first on this board and opted to do 9, 5, 10 point right. Not sure if that is the correct pick on the board. I'm kind of just looking at 8, 4, 10 as a pretty clear spot for first, but yeah, the weed is not exactly rare, right? Not necessarily. So the idea behind 9, 5, 10 is you get on the best ore of the board, you get on a strong sheep number, and you get on the best wood. Now, I don't traditionally love 9, 5, 10 ever in first, not just on this board, but just as a rule of thumb, because it's typically not the highest production spot you can get. It's also not necessarily a given that he's going to get the 3-1 here on the 9, 12. Granted, if he does, the city on 9, 5, 10 becomes very powerful because you can port 3 wood, obviously, into whatever card you're looking for. I just love the 8, 4, 10 because I feel like you have a lot of playable outs with that. But I feel like that's just what you have to take in second position here. Yep, there you go. 8, 4, 10 is going to be selected by Pink, aka Archer. Really good, strong choice by her. And we now have Dash placing in third. What I like is third. 8, 5, 10 is actually, I think, a criminally underrated pick on this board. If you guys look at it, you have the brick port and you have the wood port. So you have two very flexible ports on a very strong wheat hex. the other really nice thing about the 8510 is this is a individually owned wheat tile, so you're not going to be sharing it with anybody else, right? Granted, the 10 ore is probably going to be a main block target between Noise Pawn and Dash here, so something to keep in mind whenever you place. Other consideration, if you are placing in third, is you can do something like 6-5-11, expand to the 6-12. You have a lot of playable outs if that's the case. I do think, though, that it is clearly 8-5-10 in third. The reason is because I don't think you're going to get strong wood on the way back, but there are so many combinations of wheat plus brick or wheat plus sheep. So these are the 3 correct picks. You can debate whether the order in which they were chosen and received is correct, but these are, in my opinion, clearly the 3 choices that are selected on this board. All done in, as correct. So fun setup, and here's just a little bit of an interesting idea. You have a playable sheep board. We talked about this in the Convergence Cup finals, that when you play 4th pick, you're never going to have or wheat sheep. You're never going to have the best production. Typically, when you play 4th, you have to play one of 2 type of base strategies. The first is going to be, hey, thank you very much for the follow, CDD. And actually, I think we can switch over to our overlay. Break it. Let's see if we can get this to work. I'm going to see if I can fix myself real quick. We are back in business, baby. Let's give it a test in the chat. I don't know why it says I'm not signed into my own chat. Hey, we are back up and running, ladies and gents. I love that. We love to see it. Chat box and Twitch overlay should now be working for the stream. Hopefully it's not too much of a visual glare for you guys, but a little bit more engagement. I'll fully modify it, I promise. Right now it's modified implying that I'm a player because I would have cards and stuff, but the bottom bar is not being used, right? So it's a lot of wasted space. You get to see my ugly bed. I have so many things on this bed that I have to clean up and put away. But yeah, let's focus here. So let's finish the thought, first of all. When you play 4th position on any board, right, you're looking at kind of one of 3 things. Can you play road? Can you play side by side? And can you play a 2-to-1 port? You're not playing or wheat sheep, and you're not playing strong production. So when you look at those 3 options, I think he's going to okay. I think he's going to play off wheat port. So I think it's 6-5-11, right? And it's a very similar variation of what I was thinking. There's a interesting idea that you could run where you could say 2-9-10, 6-5-11, play off the 6-2 with the sheep port, but it's Yep, this is also a respected play. Now, I don't love the fact that Noise is doing the 6-3-11 over the 6-5-11. I think the idea is he wants to get on wood and start with a road. I think you point the road right here. But the challenge is that opens up the 6-5-12 and the 4-5-11. It kind of shoehorns him almost into a... I can't even call it a road setup or a build to 10 setup, because I think this just gets split down the middle. So he's playing a versatile setup where you can technically pivot into road or army, but your game is so dependent on 3s and 6s. You're going to play off wheat port. That's a given. That's very typically obvious here, right? You have 6-11 as your expansion. you probably city this 6-3-11. You play off this, and you can spam devs in a weird way. You're playing with 3 numbers. Road settle spots are a given. As dash here, I actually really like the defensive utility of 8-4-3 road cut to 4-11, and just playing side by side and owning that side of the board. If I'm dash, I feel like that's 100% what I take. Granted, you have to consider other options. Like for him, he could play something like 6-5-12, which is appealing, or 4-5-11, which could work. But I feel like if I'm playing as Silver here, you take the 8-4-3, you point the free road to the right, you do the road settle here. You now have 3 road settle spots, 3 uncontested beautiful ports, and you can play both side by side and road. Your main weakness is going to be a lack of ore, which you can make up with all these ports. That being said, if he does take the 8-4-3, that kind of almost shoehorns Pink into 6-5-12. She could absolutely take 10-9-2 to 6-2 and kind of, or 10-9-2 to 5-2 and play that angle, but you're leaving 6-5-12 open if that's the case, which I think is really devastating for the board. There's almost a case to make that if 8-4-3 is selected, that as Archer, you actually go 10-9-11 and point the road. Doesn't matter if you point the road. I mean, you point the road left, but doesn't matter where you expand to. But you just build here to solidify your lock on these 3 hex spots. We do it. We do it. We ride. We ride and die on this 8-4-3. Bit of an interesting dynamic here. I think Archer has to do 9, 10, 11. Also, feel free to say hi in the chat. I see we have a good bit of viewers. I just want to make sure that everything's operational. I'll fix the overlay eventually, and you'll probably hear me say this times in the future. Hey, what's up, buddy? Thanks for tuning into the chat. CDD. Hope you're having a good day, my friend. 9, 10, 11 only play, says the Catan God. Yeah, because you don't know what Icy is going to pick, right? And so this is the idea behind 9, 10, 11 CDD. If she takes 10, 9, 2 to 6, 2, it lets Icy do the 9, 11, 4, which unlocks coordinated wood brick for the 9 roll. So the idea behind her taking this spot is, yes, you're taking a worse spot for yourself, but you're going to get the 6-2 and the 5-2 anyway, but you're removing the 9 brick away from black, who makes the 9s on wood. I think that's the main value of it. But if she does 10, 9, 11 left, then I think Icy is almost forced into 11, 5, 4 right. Which is good. Yeah, I don't agree with this. This is we're gonna see how it plays out. Yeah, I think Icy just gets a significant advantage now because he wins 6-5-12 unchallenged. There is a near 0% chance that Blue can get 6-5-12, and then he goes to 9-12, and he doesn't even need this settlement, right? We're gonna see how it plays out. I agree with you. Yep. There's no player that can. I mean, so you have Dash, right? You have Dash that can challenge Road. You like the 12 or? Get out of here, Nuke. Blue gets the road settled down so early. Oh my gosh, noise is cooking. We are seeing some cooked action here. Bum 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 bum. If it was 10-9-11, do you go to the 6-2 first? Yes, but yeah, I think you do. And that's the challenge. Like, you make the setup stronger, almost. Because yes, she's spending one less road. Also, 6 is just over-rolling, so it's kind of hard to call this a very balanced game at the moment. If it was 10-9-11, do you go to this? Yeah. It makes sense. He has to give 2 cards here. I don't think they give him the city. We rolled a 6 into a 10, into a 10, into an 11. It's a spicy hand. Yeah, gotta give him a dev to unstick him. Okay, guys, pop quiz. Where is the block as Icy? Where do you throw it? Would you guys call me crazy if I actually think it's 6 wheat right now? $10, only one with roads. So, yes and no. The reason I don't like hitting the 10 here, and I think 10 is fine in. Yeah, this is also a pretty weak block. I don't like hitting the 10 because that kind of, well, actually, it's fine. He gets the road settled down. The only train of thought I was going with is black has to get the 6-5-12 as their priority. So any block they make has to be against the only player that can race them toward that spot. But there's pros and cons to it now. I do think that it is going to be very difficult to stop Icy from winning this game, just based on the trajectory it is going. Noisepawn has been very fortunate of the fact that 11 and 6 have both rolled twice the average probability, given the quantity of rolls that we've had so far. But traditionally, his position is not as dominant, to put it lightly. We have a lot of 11s and 6s so far. Yeah, so you are right, Catan God. If you look at Icy's setup, his objectives are get a city here, get a road settle here, and then he can just dev or take longest road as an endgame situation. Noise Pawn has to hit the 10 or the 4 wheat. Icy Big Brained with 9-5-10. I think if Archer takes the 10-9-11, it makes his position just so much worse. But I understand why she didn't do it. I just think it's a move that you think saves you the road in the short term, but doesn't look at the long-term consequence. Which, yeah, again, it's a very tough spot to be in. Because you now lose value from the brick, right? The 2 doesn't matter. You're now losing value on the brick because you have 3 people on it. Versus if you take this 10-9-11, Icy is now forced to trade with you to get wood from his brick, right? So you lose value from this. You also have lost value from brick from the 11. No, and I don't even think it's fair to call it a mistake. I just think it's more fair to call this the optimal move. But it really depends on the way you look at the situation. Noise Pawn is jumping so quickly here because of these roll stats. We do see the 10 wood being hit. How he's not hitting noise here is crazy to me. There must have been some kind of non-block deal. Like, Archer is getting robbed on 2 points, 3 cards. What are we looking at? At that point, like, it's 100% the 6, but the table should not ever be robbing pink here. For pink to be ahead, you would have to give them like 2 points on the board, at least. Or like a settlement and a few devs to even have them be back in contention. It's a very rough situation. And Catan is a game where you can already make your ideas based on the placements, and the devs are going to change it slightly. But let's look at the board kind of objectively right now. 4s are worse for Archer, and because of the 4 sheet being doubled, right? You have 8s that are worse for her. You have 10s and 2s. What I'm trying to say without saying too many words is 10s and 2s are the only rolls that pink has that actually helps her compared to the rest of the table. So it creates a very challenging position that even after she settles on 6-2, she actually doesn't even want 6 to roll, because if 6 overrolls, Noise Pawn just wins the game because he's tripled on 6. So there comes a time, and I don't know what's happening here. There might be some drama in the voice chat. But the justification of this 11 being blocked repeatedly is not a good idea. I don't know why people are hitting this 11. So 11 produces an OR, but 11 is one of those numbers. It's a 2-pip number, right? You're playing with roughly 4-ish%, slightly more than 4% odds that a 4 will roll. Because it's such a low impact block, it's not rolling on an average orbit, right? If you're pink or you're silver, you have to work together and keep the 6 wheat pinned. There's no other block that can be made right now between the 2 of them. So and this is what we need. So Archer needs to pick up some 10s and get the settlement here. And she has to pivot into a 8-4-10 city as quickly as possible. Because there's going to come a time where if this 6 is unblocked, and you hit any sequence of 6 plus 11 or 6 plus 3, Noise Pawn just goes point, point, point. He's currently in a position where 2 of his numbers gives him almost a full point. Right? You have a 3 roll, which is 2 wheat and a wood, and then an 11 roll, which is the road plus the ore. 6 is like half a dev, right? After he cities one of these spots, you go from 2 of his numbers being half a point to 2 of his numbers being a full point. And then at that stage, you're already lost. Like, there's no way to recover. It's a very interesting spot because optimally he doesn't get road. He has to challenge army And Pink, who traditionally plays Army, is just not getting the cards needed to contest it. I think if I'm Dash here, I have to feed you the settlement. I'm trying to look at how you would balance the board back out. Because Dash is playing Road, right? So Dash's game is, hey, I need 2 settlements, I need Road, I need 2 cities. That's how he should be looking at the board here. And Pink has nothing to do with that. Pink is the only player that will need help that can challenge devs. We just rolled 2 3s, guys. Like, I don't know what to tell you. We're going to look at these stats, and 11, 3, and 6 have all overrolled by a significant degree. There's not a lot the table can do right now about that. Noise's only weakness is that his numbers are bad, and they're just hitting. He's like something like an 11 off a city or 11 off a road settle. Like, it's tough. It's tough. The other consequence of hitting the 6 is it really only hurts Noise in the long term, because once Icy City's 9, 5, 10, he actually doesn't want 6 to roll either. Nobody wants 6 to roll on this board other than Noise Bond. Actually, I take that back. If you get a Monopoly, you will want this 6 uncovered. But other than that, Icy is effectively going for 5s and 9s into this table. 5, 9, 10. 4 is really good for him as well. But that's all I'm saying is like this one pick between here and here just changes the dynamic of this board so much. And obviously we don't have the voice chat context, so there could be something that we're missing as a spectator. But Dash makes the correct move here. If you're completely stuck as Dash because 8 is not really rolling, you just have to port into an ore and hold. If he can't get the quick road settle down on the 8, he has to just hold his cards. He has to get a city because he's never the rob here. If you're Noise Pawn, you're robbing black. If you're black, you're robbing Noise Pawn. If you're doing anything else, it's a lost cause. Yeah, and interestingly enough, I think when Noise gets robber control, you're going to see these 2 hexes be hit almost permanently. 4 and 10. Going back to what we were talking about, if we keep 4 and 10 pinned as Noise Pond, you're just banking on... You effectively want one of these numbers to hit. Preferably 2, obviously, but 1 per rotation. And that's giving you half a point. I'm kind of just explaining the structure of how I look at a game in its middle stage, which it's a lot of blabbering, right, without knowing the full context of the game. But Noise has a very stuck hand. Actually, it's not even that stuck. He has 4 wheat with wheat port. 4 wheat, 2 wood. What did we roll? We rolled some fun stuff. It's There you go. Buys the dilly. He's not going to be in a position where he can afford to port pass like Dash. So Noise Pond is almost forced to buy devs every rotation. And he's banking for, obviously, golden cards, right? In his scenario, if you pull Road Builder, it's not clean, but you probably go to the 8 sheep with it and just snag the 3-1 port because it hinders your or wheat sheep competitor while also giving you more flexibility for endgame. Icy rolling a 9 here is interesting because his settlement spot is actually the 10 ore in a lot of cases. It gives you a little bit of a road sneak. It also doubles your ore, gives you the ore port, allows 9, 5, 10 city to be even more dominant. Oh man, there you go. Yeah, I don't really know what Dash and Archer can do here. There's an argument to be made that even if you conjoin the setups, that Icy is still in a dominant position. But there's just too much that needs to be done. You have to get your city as pink before anything else. If you don't city the 8-4-10 soon, you just don't make enough cards to last throughout the rest of the game. Dash is also in an interesting scenario where he gets traded the 2 wood, more than likely to get the road settle down on one of these 2 spots. I think you have to do the 8 because nobody's soloing you at this point, and 8 just rolls more often. You just port the brick down. But there's an argument to be made about the 5. Yeah, any trade that pink is doing, like the table needs to keep her afloat. So this is good insurance for silver there, and Dash wants her to buy Dev, right? So that's just good value for Dash. I think Dash is going to be forced to do road settle here. It's a factor of between 5 and 8. I think you always go 8. He has the 2 wood in hand already. Just trying to offload the cards back. Looks like that was an insurance deal. He still has the road settle on the 8. It's really kind of a value proposition that you can propose here. Yeah. He's wheeling and dealing. You got to respect the hustle here from Dash. It's a good move. He still also has the ore that he ported for earlier. So by dropping road settle, you kind of clean out your hand pretty well. The only interesting. I'm not sure I agree with this. I actually don't think I agree with this, but that's okay. You have to just bank on 8s, right? Because 5 rolling again. We were talking about worst case scenario rolls here. I just don't think you have value as Dash getting this wood port down versus the brick port. Like, there's not enough wood for you to be porting, and if we keep rolling 8s... So, this is kind of the way I would look at it. By going here, you're basically telling the table, I'm going to road settle here next, right? Versus if you road settle here, you have the flexibility to then say, I'm going to dev city or do road settle here. So doing this forces Dash's action to be this next, or he gets stuck. Which is good for the other 3 players, to clarify, right? You always want somebody to be 5 settle road player. But that's the challenge when you take wood brick. You don't want your 5th settlement to be your 5th point. And that's just kind of the position he's in now. You do see a steal go down from the 10 here from Icy after the 5 was rolled. A lot of sheep on the board. His hand is almost entirely sheep. He's going to call pause. I can hit resume for some reason. Dang it. Hey, I had the option. I'm going to click it. Don't ban me. They're probably just taking a break of some kind. Oh, Dash DC. Let's hop in.
Let's see. No one's in it. It's just me. Oh, Jan's still showing the screen. Jan, can you do Scrandle? Yeah, thank you. Oh.
Cool. All right, we're back, guys. We are back in the game. But yeah, the 10 block makes sense from Noise Pond because, again, like, he doesn't want these sequences to be giving out the ore to these players. We have the 6 get thrown out. Interesting bit of information, and you obviously cannot confirm this just based on one robber. We kind of have confirmation already that Noise's development card is not a knight. But one thing that some people don't actually pick up on is context clues behind non-knights. So if you look at Noise's position, if he is holding a monopoly, you don't want to hit the 10. And the reason is because when 10 rolls, you can just scoop all the ore and get your double city. So with that knowledge in mind, you can already make a few assumptions, right? Unfortunately here he 7s, which is kind of what Archer needs to get back into the game. So here we are going to be looking at a little bit of a shift in power dynamic because Noise's rolls have started to slow down. He's not picking up the cards based off these 3s and 11s. And Icy is now back to being clear contested leader. The point I'm trying to make earlier is we had information Noise Pawn had a non-knight. We had information that Noise spent his own cards to build a road. We also had information that Noise himself moved the robber to the 10. This tells you no road builder, no mono, no knight. So probability says, chat. I'm looking for the answer. What is Noise Pawn's dev? It's a victory point. I'm playing classroom pop quiz there. But granted, he wants victory points. It's just not a great dev to have in his position because he's being gang robbed. So in Noise's position, you prefer literally any other development card. But he has the VP, and that is a very safe assumption because you can also rule out Year of Plenty because he can just build a city with a 6 from the Year of Plenty, which I'm pretty sure has already happened, right? Maybe you don't do that now. Maybe you do, but we'll see if I'm wrong. I've been wrong a lot. It's just you have to kind of fill in the gaps and use that information as the game progresses. Yeah, so what are we doing here as Noise Pawn? We need the 6 unblocked, but we don't like deving. But we have to dev. So he's going to port pass. Really good information here. Unfortunately, he gets plucked. And I actually agree with Noise Pawn port passing here, because you're port passing to 5 cards. Why? Why are we... Dude, I'm not sure I understand. I'm not sure I understand this 11. We're going to have to ask a little bit about it after, but if you're trying to hit Noise Pond, it's a perma block on a 6 as black, right? If you are trying to hit Dash, the 11 block is irrelevant. He does not care about the 11. It's one of those weird sequences where Icy is just allowing 6s to roll because he keeps hitting the 11 repeatedly. And you guys need to understand, 6 rolls at a frequency of more than double 11. So putting the robber on the 11 when it already is producing only 2 cards, 1 for each player, versus a 6 that has somewhere like 2.5 times probability that's making the table 5 cards, right? It's just basic math here. We have a wheat port. We don't have another port. Like, you have to keep the 6 pinned. Like, you're not going to pin your own 6, so you hit the other 6. It's... Noise Pawn doesn't give 2 craps. Like, if an 11 doesn't roll the rest of the game, he doesn't really care. He's banking on 3 and 6 right now. It's one of those weird dynamics, because when he gets the city, it's going to have to be this city, right? You don't really have another option. You could city this, which is kind of funny, but then you have a ton of dead cards of brick and sheep. We now see a 10 roll, right? And you'll notice that the blocks from Archer are actually have been, in my opinion, very aggressive in a good way. Like, you are behind as pink. And so when you're in that kind of desperate situation, you can't afford to be on neutral, friendly terms with the rest of the table. When you are objectively behind, so you have 4 players, right? When you're in the lead, you can give as much crap as you want, but you're going to take it. When you are behind, you can give as much crap as you want, and the table won't respond negatively. They have to almost respond positively because you are not in a position to be retaliated against. And that's a mentality you can take to a ranked Discord game or to a in-person game where she is getting value off of Dash, and so is Dash, to be fair. It's a two-way exchange by targeting Icy. So I think a lot of players in Archer's position would be like, oh, we'll just do a shared block this, we'll do a trade that. No, she's clearly identified who the third strongest player on the table is and is working with that player to slow down the strongest player, which is what you have to do in that position. And as the person in third, that is almost a forced action for you to take as well. Now, granted, Dash gets a city out of this, and I'm not tracking to see what Archer pulled from that sequence, but if she also does not get a city out of it, it is a net negative value for her, which kind of invalidates what I was just saying. But I'm assuming she got some type of strong value from that sequence. And we now see another 3 roll and a city drop from Noise. And here is the interesting dynamic of the table. We have Icy with a Night played, 2 fresh devs, can take road with a 9 any day of the week. We have Dash, who has to build 2 roads to go to 7, road settle for 8, and then has to figure out the game plan for the other 2 points. And we have Archer, who I'm hoping has a city, but I'm not too sure what the sequence with Dash was if it did not give her point value. Because Pink is now in a position where if the table does not give her army, Icy is closing the game in probably 5 rotations. I would say loosely 5 rotations, but that might not be a precise number. And Noise can also win, right? To be clear on that front. He's on 6. You have an open settle, you go to 7, but then you have to somehow quick burst your points, which is going to be a monopoly. It's going to be some type of night sequence. Yeah, I don't think anybody's giving her ore. So that's tough. If all of this sequence with Dash was I get a city, you get nothing. Okay. As Dash there, I think you have to help her get a dev and a city. I think that particular turn, as Dash, you have to figure out how to give her a free card or 2. Because here's the challenge, right? Dash is forced to hit 6 wheat. I think if you make any other block, it's a mistake right now. Right, voice deal is non-excluded. Maybe they don't have the cards to work it out. I don't know the hands perfectly, so I'm hoping Colonist works on that, because Two Sheep has that kind of lockdown in a good front. It's always the 6, and there's going to come a time, it doesn't have to be now, but there's going to come a time as Dash that you have to build these 2 roads. And this is where we are going to talk about earlier in the conversation, where road settling here, I believe, was a mistake, as opposed to road settling on the 8. You are going to see Dash either 7 out or have a stuck hand on this rotation. We see Icy play second Night 0 card. So yes, he's in a leading position, but he's not in a closing position. He does not want to rob Dash, even though Dash is actually probably in second now, because Noise Pawn is on 6, but he is not in a position for a win con. So it's a weird one where, yeah, I think that's the middle ground move that you have to make. But I wonder if there's ever a case that you hit the 10 and rob Archer. Because now, as Icy, you're in a position where you're not going to win the road or army battle, right? As Archer, what she has to do is dev the rest of the game. Like, there's no action she can take other than dev. Or no action she should, not can't. There's double dev. So now you have army. Dash, assuming he does not 7 out, will now have road. So then going back to Icy, you're now like, okay, I'm playing these middle ground moves with these blocks on the 11s. And now I'm in a position where I can't get either win con, right? And that's the issue with playing too much in the center. If you are the leading player and playing too center focused, you're going to lose slip on both sides. These players are not going to let Icy get road or army now. Like, that opportunity has effectively been lost. That's not to say that Icy cannot get road at all or army at all, but it's gone from a very dominant possibility of either to now a unlikely chance of either. I'm going to bite my words also because the sequence of Dash's rolls here were just perfect. We rolled into wood, into brick, into more brick. Assuming he doesn't catch a sequence of 8, 8, 10, his hand is not as appealing as it is right now. But here we are. So we now have the brick board in play. Yeah, so we had a fun sequence here of 8, 8, 10, 8. Possibly Dash's best case scenario other than throwing in a 5. Table now actually has to repivot because Dash can build 2 roads at any time for 8 points. Interestingly enough, the 2 roads can go to the 4 here to open up your 9th point settlement. Okay, we see a road drop. Interesting play. Yep. Correct move from Noise Pond. Noise is now in a stagnant position where unless he pulls a Monopoly, it's very unlikely he will win this game. He has to overly rely 6s here. It's kind of a weird spot where he has to build out his 3 points. It's 100% possible, don't get me wrong. But Noise Pond has to get kind of like either City, VP, Settle, some combination of VP, Settle, City with 3 points. I would say let the dice roll first from Archer's POV because Dash is now clearly leading and you want him to pick up a card. Okay, now you can move the robber to the 8 and take his wood if you have a knight. But actually, you don't really have to, right? Interestingly enough, if Archer does have a knight, she is not forced to play it here because Icy does not have a knight. Yeah, she just holds it. Whether or not she has a knight is information you don't have to give up. Dash will now be in a similar spot, but he obviously wants to unpin his 5. There you go. Knight is best case scenario for the table. Any non-knight that Dash pulls is devastating. If it's RB, it's very hard to feed road now. If it's Year of Plenty or Mono, he can just city. If it's a VP, he just needs to take road and make a settlement. We love seeing the build to 10 setups because the effectiveness of the 3 ports really plays quite well because the table is forced to solo block, which unfortunately for Archer, it's kind of a situation where it's like, I have to go army, but Icy's the only one buying knights. And so you have to make a decision if you're hitting Icy or you're hitting Dash. You can't do both. Yeah, so this is quite an interesting game. I think Dash is going to now close this out. Give it maybe 3 rotations here. The table has to coordinate a feed to Icy for road, which I don't think is going to happen. 9s have just not hit this game. Noise is spending his turn timer here, I think, trying to figure out a collaborative attempt, but it's just not an easy position here. He has to build 3 points out while still feeding road to Icy, while helping Archer hold army, while still getting 3 points himself. But Catan is very explosive in that way. Explosive in that way. That's the word I'm looking for. Sequence of 5s and 8s just allow Dash to city on his own. Right? You're now in a position where you're making 4 brick from an 8 roll. You 2-1 that. That's frickin' ores, right? That's ores. There has to be a scenario here with the cards where you can figure out a feed. Because unless Archer is playing a mono, I could very easily see Dash having 9 points this turn. I don't know if he has sequences to win. I mean, his sequence is probably 5, 8, 10, right? Going back to our earlier point. The amount of cards that are just being distributed from the table. He gets a trade from Dash to Dev. It's a necessary evil. He probably tried to negotiate with the other 2 and couldn't find a deal. Icy just passes. She feels forced to play the knight there, which Noise Pond loves, by the way. This is a really pivotal point of the game, to where if Noise Pond does get a second non-knight, this is his only window. Not this turn necessarily, but the table is highlighting the fact that Dash is... I would use the term soft 8. It's hard 6, soft 8, right? Because you drop a road, and really, how are you going to feed a 7 connect here without 9s? This lack of 9s just killed Icy, right? And we were talking about how dominant his setup would be. If the numbers don't hit, the numbers don't hit. I believe 3 and 11 have outrolled 9 at this stage. But that's Catan for you, right? The dice can be very finicky in that way. Archer is now back in, assuming 8 points, and we do see a 9 roll. Okay. This is the opportunity for Noise to make a move. Dash does not want to be the road guy, but unfortunately, there's times where you just have to be the road guy. It's a lose-lose, because it's like if you don't take road, you're scary because you're doing other things. And if you do take road, you're scary. So I feel like as Dash, you have to just dev. Deving is the most neutral move you can make here, because it unblocks your 8, maybe gives you a VP, maybe gives you a mono, maybe gives you an action card. It's the least scary move that Dash can make in his position if he believes that nobody else can win this rotation. And you know he absolutely has a dev in hand. That's given information, I believe. He's going to ask the table for road feed. What's interesting is even if Icy has a VP and takes road, guys, he goes to 8, right? So Icy still has to do road settle city, or road settle pull, or city pull. Like it's not necessarily in scope. You know what would be really interesting is a wood monopoly from Noise Pond, chat. Do you guys see this kind of interesting sequence where Noise plays before Icy? So does he have a mono move? Yeah. Dash, I think, makes the correct play because there's so many knights in the deck. You either have to just take your 7th point or you have to fish. You don't really have another move you can make here. Okay. Mr. Noise Pond. If he monos wood, is he short? I think there's only 5 total wood on the table. It's enough to take road. But what does he have left over? Let's assume he's on 2 nons with 7. 1 is a VP. Is it take longest road and settle or take longest road and pull? Do we have that? Okay. Going with the information that I am thinking, if he does not have 2 non-knights, your move is to go for second city. Oh gosh, this is... Noise wants to give sheep for wood. Okay, but he's asking for wood. Bro, did you guys just trade him win with 2 VPs? Take road 2 VPs? Well, it's not that. He would have claimed win. Okay. Okay. He has to be playing it as a knight VP then. You can't move it off the 8, I agree. He devs. Ooh. Huh. Is it necessary to prove that you have a knight and move it to 5? Probably not. That's maybe his consideration. I think you can safely say that's VP knight from the two that he had. We definitely know it's not road building, guys. We can definitely say that. His challenge is he doesn't want to move it off 8, but the table could just be like, yeah, bro, but you build one road to win. It's going to come down to faith, right? If you're Rayman, the table believes you. If you're Noise Spawn, probably not. But I don't believe he would take a win trade in this scenario. He wants to give a wheat for 3 wood. Oh, it's insurance. Okay. Good move, not moving it. Good play. Icy now has to take longest. It's a forced play. No, Icy, why? Bruh. Guys, somebody help me understand. I'm not in the voice chat. What? Why don't we take road here? I'm so confused. The 12. Okay, well, Icy now goes to 9 with a road drop, eh? Let's play it. And we still have Archer on 8. Archer's not out by any means. Oh, sorry guys, I broke your visuals. Mono question mark? Probably not. Mono ore would remove, what, 5 ore from the board? 4 ore from the board? It's not a very clean Monopoly. Somewhere like 4 or 5. But with Oreport, you could maybe justify it because maybe Icy has sequences here. It's going to involve the number 9. Guys, I just want to see Noise Pawn drop 1 road and win because everybody's chicken to take road. That's one of my favorite things in ranked, and I'm saying this with dreaded sarcasm, that nobody wants to take road because everyone's scared, and then the person that builds 5 roads wins. Or I would even call it retribution if Archer plays road builder and just wins with 5 roads and 3 knights. Okay. All right. I think Noise has very high odds to win right here. Very, very high odds to win. And there's very few sequences, I think, where he does not. He already has settlement in hand, assuming he doesn't roll a 7. If he rolls a 7, he can pull a dev card almost guaranteed and actually keeps a dev card in hand. He has a confirmed knight, a confirmed VP, and then a variable development card. Now, the table, it has to give Dash a road or they lose this turn. I would put Noise Pawn's win chance this turn at somewhere like 90+%. Assuming they don't feed a road. It's probably higher than that. Yeah. No. That's what it is. It's everyone's like, I need help taking road. And then they'll say, oh, you were too stubborn and didn't help me. It happens all the time in voice chat games. Absolutely. Because here's the thing, here's the reality. When you don't identify the safe player to take road, everybody wants road to win and everyone can win with road, which means you'd have less wiggle room to balance out a board. And that's the problem with playing that way. You don't clearly identify a road player, well, guess what? Now everyone's a road player. All right, Noise Pawn. It's a settlement and a road if we have it. Ooh, guys. So if Noise does not have win here with a road and a settle, he can dev instead and pivot into an army play, because Archer's only window is a settlement plus a city, or a settlement plus a pop. Dash has to get a VP. Yep, here we go, here we go, here we go. This is a gun for the largest army play. Or pull for a VP and drop a road. Yep, that's it. Well played. Oh shit. What just happened? Okay, I'm confused. I am very confused. What just happened there? So he's on 8 after making the settlement. Okay, somebody wrap my head around that turn. So you buy a fresh dev, you settle, you have 7 on the board, you have 1 VP. So if you don't settle, you don't have the win, which means that he only has has 1 VP. That's the only way that sequence makes sense to me. Well, I guess so. Okay, so Archer has 1, Icy has 1, Noise has 1. And Archer can now make a 9th point here. And Dash is going to take road for 9, but Dash is going to have to get a VP and take road. If he doesn't take road, anyone will win this rotation. But Dash's only hope to win this rotation is taking road and getting a VP. I don't believe he has a sequence where he can city. It's what? He has brick. Brick. Yeah, there's no way. There's 0%. All right, chat. We're going to see it. Can Dash buy a VP and build a road? If not, I think Noise probably closes the game here. I'm going to keep saying that, but it all depends on on when these guys stop pulling night cards. We just need a Year of Plenty or Monopoly and the game's over. From almost literally any player. Actually, Road Builder is also another game-ending card for any player. Because we are going to see a 5 road win, more than likely. Yeah. I don't know, that should be a point of discussion, maybe in like a coaching or training video, on just how we approach the longest road as players. Because new players in Over the Board, and I can say this as someone who has literally probably taught 100 people how to play in person for the first time, new players will build roads endlessly and just have fun building roads. Experienced players will literally do everything except build roads. They would rather pull their teeth out than build a road. I don't think Dash has pop, road pop, but he has to take road. It's 1 road pass, and if he has it, it's buy a dev and buy a road. Nobody is going to feed him a 10th point. And we're effectively playing roulette between pink and blue on who has 2 non-knights. I don't know. You guys give me your input. I'm curious if you think I'm never 100% right, and I'm never majority of the time right. That's kind of the beauty of this game, is you can provide your own perspective and be right and wrong about different sequences of turns. I just think we are in a very tough spot here. I don't know how you pivot out of it. You have to make the road no matter what. Okay, we see a 3-1 go through. We see a 1-1 go through. This is 2 free brick. Full road. Okay. There you go. So it might not matter because if Noise Pond has 2 non-knights, I think he can just win the game anyway. Maybe not this turn, but it does give Dash a window. And unfortunately, Ice is all but out of the game now. It's Archer. Getting 2 brick from Archer there makes sense because she's possibly on 9 open settle, and Dash is going 2-9 to eliminate possible win from blue and black. So that was a very good sequence of her to make there. Now, this is the decision as Noise Pond that you have to make. If you don't have win, which I'm assuming he doesn't based on the calculation here, you have to almost, I think, hit the 10 or rob Archer, hope that she misses a window to win, and have it come back around to you to claim army. And that's kind of where I feel like Noise Pond is heading, but I don't see how else he can close the game because he all but confirmed only having 1 victory point based on the actions performed on this side of the board. And there's not a lot of opportunity to mono here, right? He has the wheat, he has the sheep. You can mono the brick, but it's not very clean. Yeah, it's a defensive mono that I don't think gives him the win. But if it gives him the city, he has the sequence, right? And I think there that you have to do it because it removed, what was it, 3 from Dash? I don't know if it actually took anything from Archer's hand, but as Noise Pond, you have to try, and that puts you to 8 and more than likely 9, but shy of outright win. So here in Noise Pond's position, your hand is a shit ton of brick, wheat, and sheep. If he has the city and the dev, that's what you do. So he's on 9, right? And he now needs to make a road settle or pull. He misses the window. Okay. 12 from Icy. Archer rolls. 11. Okay. Does Archer have the monopoly? If not, I think this is a... This has to go to Noise here, I think. Icy is on confirmed 8. Dash cannot win the game here. Dash is on an ore. I don't know what his second card is. Dash can pull a VP with the 8 roll. I think that is Dash's only chance to win this game. Noise Pond will win outright with a 6, outright with a 3. He has 2 rolls to do so. Dash has to roll an 8 and buy a VP when there are 2 left in the deck. Possibly 1, depending on if Archer has 2 here and is trying to go for the open settle to win. I'm not sure what type of trade value she can get here. There is maybe a scenario you can figure out where Dash gives you a dev in exchange for all of your other cards, but it doesn't change the fact that Dash cannot dev without an 8 roll. So it's like you're giving Archer the potential to get a 3rd VP to win when your odds don't go any higher. So I don't think there's a deal here for Dash to make. Maybe a deal for Icy to make, where you give her the dev for all the other cards and you pray that somehow Noise gets something incredibly unlucky, like a sequence of 2 knights and a VP and then 7's out. So Archer ports to the settlement, all but confirming the fact that she has 2 VPs down. It's a settle for her to win. Dash now has an ore and 3 wheat. There's no way for him to make a dev card with the current hand, so he is forced to pass unless he is going to try to avoid a mono from Noise Pond back to back. The other challenge that the board faces is that Noise Pond can hypothetically play an aggressive knight because he has a 4 and 5 chance of stealing a wheat from Dash. Now, I don't know if he does that or if that's the right move to make because Noise Pond is on 7 cards. But in an extreme example, if you're Noise Pond and you have 2 knights and a VP, I actually think your odds of winning the game might go higher by pre-knighting Dash for a wheat steal. Okay, let's see it. Is it a monopoly on sheep or wheat to close? And if not, you have effectively one way to win this game, which is pound Archer and hope that you get army. And that Dash misses a VP and 7's out. Which, in fairness, I actually don't think it's easy for Dash to close here. We have 4 out of 5 VPs out of the deck. All Archer needs is a 4 and a 10 or a settlement. Archer can settle city or pull for her last point. Dash is effectively forced into popping. The only way that he can get a city is a sequence of 2 8s, right? Which is not easy for him to do. He has the wheat in hand, assuming these guys don't have the mono, but he has to avoid that and roll 2 8s. We did roll an 11. So it's actually, oh no, I take that back, guys. I'm speaking out of my butt here. So Dash can win the game with an 8 roll outright because he already has the wheat in hand. He already has 1 ore, and he has brick port with an 8 roll. So you have 2 brick, 3 brick, 4 brick. You port the 2 brick into 2 ore in city. So it's actually closer than I'm making it out to be. I did not see that the 11 rolled. So yeah, this is not an easy decision. And you can't even move the robber here onto Dash because you need him to 7. Or maybe you do. Maybe you just hit the 8 brick anyway. Okay. We love seeing Noise Pond think this through because my mind is also kind of churning at what he's doing. So he has to have Archer miss her window to settle and have Dash miss an 8 or have Dash roll a 7. Ice monos for 7 wheat. And I think he has enough to take road to win. Wow. What? Dude, no way. The table did not see a monopoly coming, and neither did I. You just take longest road, brother. Build the damn roads. You got 17 cards. I did not see this coming. Not at all. 11-point win. Wow. That is incredible. That is an incredible play by Icy. He held that development card for an insane amount of time. Let's go back to his POV. I want to show you guys the patience of this. Look at the stage of the game where Icy buys this knight, or this mono. You're like a third into the game. He bluffed that incredibly well as a victory point. What a game. You know, every time I vocalize something, I'm always wrong, Boob. I'm pretty sure I said about 15 minutes ago that Icy has no chance to win. But mono is the one above all. But I also did say the player that took road was going to win. That is so unfortunate. So if we look at stats here, 4 underperformed incredibly, which on paper really killed Archer. 3 also overperformed, as did 6, which, you know, you're going to be skewing Noise Pond in that front. But Noise Pond got good rolls, bad devs, right? So it's a tough dynamic. Very well played. You know what sucks though is Noise Pond here. I think you make all the right moves. Like you have, and this is your hand. You're forced to play the mono defensively. You never really have the time. Like Noise Pond is now in a position where he has to get Army from Archer to win. But hey, that was a fun D1 game. I hope you guys enjoyed. I am super tired. I've been streaming for Catan for like 8 hours today. 7.5 hours. So I will catch you guys in a future video.